She wanted to catch up.
Oh,
Allison, that worked for me, used to do commentary after our videos. She'd watch them and then recap it. It's hilarious. That got more views than our actual meetings. Hey, we got somebody online.
yeah, it's for public comment there. All right.
Matt's even got a colorful chart for us. We save money and use black and white next time.
Good for you all. All right, Danny, we're ready.
Hold on, let me make sure I have all my stuff in order. All right, I'm gonna call this meeting February 22nd, 2024 to order. And the first thing we're gonna do is the approval of minutes from January 25th, 2024.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
On.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and then we're gonna move right along to the staff report.
Make sure you guys, if you want to read it, make sure you go through all the way through the packet to get to the staff report.
That's a lot of rentals in the scout area. That's
Yeah.
nice.
All right, I'll start with the staff reports. We'll start with the senior services coordinator. As we talked about at the last meeting, I kind of took you guys through the process of how what got us to putting that position online and out to the public to look for candidates through the months of December and January. We did interviews. We brought in roughly about 6 candidates, I think it was. And at the end of January, early February, we offered to Amy Alexander. She accepted the position and her first day is on Monday. We're excited to have Amy. She has previous experience in working with older adults. She worked for Humana for a while in Gladstone, and they have a senior center off their building there. And so she put on events, did webinars for them, helped them with educational sessions. And so we're excited to have her here. She's excited to get moving. She's a local Smithfield, been here for 20 plus years.
That's awesome.
You would hire someone whose name starts with an A.
Right?
Is that the joke? Yeah. Oh, does she have
Is
red
she
hair?
redheaded too?
Yeah, right.
Man.
That was what Alex and Aspen told me.
Alex, Aspen, Amy.
Yeah.
Good luck,
Yeah.
Matt.
I know.
The reason why when I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll send an email to so-and-so and you're like, it's not her, it's the other one. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know which one it is.
So yeah, we're excited for that. You'll be seeing her around. She'll be office out of the senior center. So that's where her office will be at. The campgrounds, we've been in communication with the camp host. Our campground opens up on April 1st. That's also when reservations are online. Our camp hosts, Chris and Janet, are returning for their second season. They have been beloved by our campers. They work hard and they've kept the campground probably the cleanest it's been in a long time. So people enjoy how clean the restrooms are, which is a small thing, but big to the campers.
#1 text message I used to get.
Yeah. And then the community awards banquet, that is next Thursday night. We've been meeting pretty frequently this past month to get everything together. Everything is coming together. But that's a partnership with the city of Smithville and the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce to kind of honor accessible citizens within the community. And we must have a good board because we have a couple members on this board who have been nominated. So it's always exciting to have them here. Yeah.
You don't have
Yeah.
to vote for Danny.
No one ran against. No one's nominated against you.
It's the most awkward thing, guys. It's just really awkward for me and I don't know how to feel about it. So
Danny got an award.
Alex provided her recreational report. She's unable to make it today, but she is fully involved in soccer right now. Basketball just ended or is finishing up in different towns. But if you see on the spring soccer from 2023 to 2024, there's a very large increase in the number of participants. So we have just keeps going up each year, and it just takes more time to get that stuff together.
And just for anybody reviewing the packet, spring we've always capped, right? The clinic we've capped. The
Yes,
one
yeah.
anomaly year was
Yeah,
we forgot to cap it.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
It
71.
hasn't gone
Yeah.
down. We had more people would want to
Yeah.
attend. We capped that one because it is very difficult because it's littles,
yeah,
like little littles.
yeah. And then 2023 we had 50, but it was because we had more help, so we were able to add a couple more on the wait list. So
I will say I've heard from multiple families over the last, I think, 2 years. You guys have been doing the new, like
Mhm.
the new format for the clinic.
Yep.
They love it.
yeah.
They've been really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So
Aspen, she's been taking on that. She, her and her family own Shooting for the Stars here in town, so they have a good background in being creative like that. And then Aspen also started a new program here this year in 24 was the winter basketball clinic for kindergartners through second grade. That was an area where every year, even back when I was the rec manager, was we want second grade basketball, and we just don't have the gym space for it currently. We use Maple and Horizon, and to have each coach to have 2 practices, even with our 3rd through 6th grade, it is maxed out through the week. So we've been doing this program at Eagle Heights, just kind of getting our foot in the door to hopefully get more reservations there. But it has been going well. That sold out as well. So we had to cap it due to staffing as well. But the girls have been busy. There's more 24 programs and event registrations going on. They have the watercoloring workshop. It's almost full. There's, I think, 5 spots left now as of today. And we're just continuing to add more. I know you guys saw the staff reports in January of a recap of all the 23 programs. It's just growing. So we're excited for that. Any questions on the staff report?
Just a couple comments real quick.
Yeah.
Community Awards Banquet, the Chiefs did win the Super Bowl again. If you guys weren't paying attention, that did happen. So we do have some stuff for the auction, right?
Yep.
So bring your checkbooks, tell your friends to buy tickets and come and support the Parks Department. And we have some really good items too. I think we just confirmed St. Joe Chambers putting together a basket for us. We're working with Northland Chamber to put together a basket. So we should have a lot of fun things for the silent auction. And then now that we do have our new person starting for senior services, Debbie Childress and I partnered. We've been waiting for her to start. Debbie owns a rideshare company in town, and we're going to start offering rides to seniors. So if anybody wants to help donate to that cause, let me know. So that'll start up soon too.
fun. All right. Any other comments or questions on the staff report? Anybody? All right. We're gonna move on to the Emerald Ridge Park design discussion, and we have public comment for that.
No.
No,
No.
there's
She'll
just
be,
space for it.
yeah, just a
Okay.
space as a case.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is Shelby not online? Did you say she was gonna
Do we
come?
have someone? I thought she was gonna come,
Okay.
but
Well, if she shows up later, we can go
Yeah,
back if we need to. Because we have another public comment section we need to.
Okay. All right. Emerald Ridge Park discussion. I'll go kind of back over it. So back in September 23, this committee provided the first feedback regarding initial park and playground designs. Both Athco and Compan took the feedback and updated their designs before our October meeting. That meeting was canceled due to attendance. Feedback was asked over email instead. Again, the feedback was sent back to the 2 companies and they updated their designs. On January 16th, 24, staff held a public meeting for Emerald Ridge Playground and Park Design, the Emerald Ridge neighborhood and surrounding areas. It was hosted at the Smithville Senior Center from 5:30 to 7 o'clock. The neighborhood got a door hanger notifying them of the meeting. We also posted on Nextdoor for them and the surrounding subdivisions to join and provide feedback online. We had 2 families attend the in-person public meeting, 1 family from the Emerald Ridge neighborhood. There was no comments online. On January 25th, 24, the committee met to review all comments received and looked into making any changes to the design based on the comments received. The committee provided the following feedback after reviewing the public comments. So for the Athco design, this committee wanted to see more equipment for 2.5 to 5-year-olds, add more interactive boards and equipment, add swings, look for alternative for the We Go round, get rid of some of the play features on the main structures and add more sensory elements. Compan committee feedback. Wanted a new style for the shade structures to add swings and get rid of some of the play features on the main structures and add different play elements to it. I did make a note there that staff was asked to look into adding a restroom and ask the Board of Aldermen for more funds for both designs. Staff took the feedback into account and collaborated with each design company to implement budget-friendly adjustments. Both companies have submitted revised designs that are displayed in your packet and online here. Now, staff seeks the committee's review of both designs, inviting feedback and recommendations for moving forward. It is worth noting that neither companies included restroom facilities. External vendors will need consideration. Before I get into presenting this information to the Board of Aldermen, I do wish to engage in further discussion with the committee regarding the cost and appropriate course of actions for the restroom. In front of you, I have two documents that kind of show graphs here. If you want to pull that out. The first one that shows the 5-year capital improvement plan. I just want you guys to be aware of when projects are scheduled and what is. I know that early in last year of 23, this committee committed funds out of the Parks and Stormwater sales tax for the OK Railroad Trail that we received the RTP grant with. That initial phase 1 grant, once we get that grant, it'll be $181,000, which is noted there in parentheses. And then we also committed money in fiscal year 25 for the Riverwalk and trail construction at $600,000. There was also an addition in fiscal year 23 that was made by the Board of Aldermen for $90,000 for the Diamond Crest shelter and restroom as well. So those three were all unbudgeted, and that went into the overall budget that was, budgeted for 24. Obviously, there's a larger hit in 25 as well. If we do a restroom at Emerald Ridge, we will need to look at somewhere up of $100,000 again. In the second file here, this does show you that our expected revenues coming in from the sales tax are fine, and we're exceeding those expectations at the end of the year. But the end goal that you see in the capital improvement plan of roughly of $2.2 million for the Smiths Fork Park project, we're going to need all the funds we can get to do that project and make that a successful one. So I just want you guys to consider that, see the numbers. If you guys still want to move forward with asking more funds for Emerald Ridge and also looking at dedicating another $100,000 for a restroom, we just need to remember the long-term goal is to have as much money saved for the Smiths Fork projects.
Yeah, one of the things after looking this over and going back and reviewing our notes, the real destination playground we're trying to build is the Smiths Fork Park complex. So, if we don't want to take away from that, because it's going to be a big project that has plenty of parking, plenty of those things. This is still just a neighborhood park, and we don't want to forget that. So, it's existed since the beginning. There's houses around it. It's where the houses in the area. So I don't think a bathroom needs to be priority. If you guys disagree with that, that's fine. We can discuss it. But we also want to look at the scope of this and while we do want people to be able to use it in the area, we don't want it to become a burden on the neighborhood also at the same time. So
I do want to open it to you guys for a discussion, because I think if we do want to bring it to the Board of Aldermen, we have, we probably want to do it in the month of March to get that rolling and get those funds, allocated. If not, we can still continue to move forward with this, with our two designs and do that. So I just do want to continue to start on the restroom, to see if we do want to move forward with that.
I was
see-
looking up ADA porta potties. Because I just know one of the things that Danny had said is if someone is coming from a ways away to use
Yeah.
the park, and I just can't speak to that. I don't have that experience. Like I know sometimes people in our community center at Liberty have to have a whole changing pad situation. So, I mean, there is a Quick Trip and a McDonald's somewhat close by for a bathroom, but, I hear
Mhm.
the points you're making and not wanting to make it a burden on the neighborhood, and that the destination park is just 4 or 5 years away.
Yeah. By the time we construct this, it's, 3.
We're talking about that one, yeah.
Yeah.
When I know it's been our priority going forward that like all of our playgrounds meet specific standards going forward. And so the destination playground will have that. I don't know. My goal as being on part of this board has always been that we spend our tax money and the public's tax money well. And so where exactly would funds for this come from? Do they come out of parks funds? Do they come out of city funds? Like, where does that come from?
So these funds would come out of the Parks and Stormwater sales tax. That's that half-cent sales tax, that is put on goods within the community in Smithville.
They'd just be allowing you to allocate it for this.
Yeah, so it'll come out of future savings. So we would pull it from reserve that we have saved up for this project, which we do have in this. So we pulled out of that cash balance.
What about those people you all met with
Mhm.
and,
Variety Casey.
yeah, did they say if you want a bathroom, we'll help you get a bathroom? What did they say? They
Changing-
said,
Changing table, adult changing
Changing
table
table.
specifically.
okay.
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, they might help fundraise for.
They
Yeah,
might.
they might help fundraise. It'd be a grant though,
for
so
it.
it'd be a matching most
Yeah.
likely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which, that's a good point. So if we wanted to, build the park, obviously we have to do it from outside vendor, and we would put this park, I wish I had an overview of this, but it'd be on the west side. So we wouldn't mess up anything inside, the walking path of the playground. So,
It would be an easy addition at a later date if possible.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this doesn't have to hinge on that.
no.
Cool.
And sometimes it's
Yeah.
easier to build your case for certain grants like that when you have
You
the
have something
park and you
established.
say, look at all these complaints we've received.
Right.
Help me. I mean, that's a retroactive way, but an easier way to ask for those grant dollars and get the money behind it.
Because we could build it and it could just remain the 5 or 6 people in the neighborhood using it, right? That live right there and can run home and go to the bathroom. I mean,
Mhm.
it could, that's possible, right? So we don't know what it's gonna look like.
So can we just wait?
I think that's fine. Can we make it a goal to talk with Variety KC about what a partnership looks like with them
Mhm.
for the future? Whether that's fundraising that maybe we can work on with some local groups or to do like a matching something for.
I mean, maybe next year's Legacy Fund dinner, we'll have another Chiefs Super Bowl win and we can get some people to write some checks for some gear.
Yeah.
Or a Casey Current championship.
Mhm.
Yes.
Would we still, so I know that like right now it was, I don't feel like there was no pushback at all for like getting a porta potty put out at the one at Diamond Crest.
Oh.
Is that something that we could
Yeah.
just make sure to put into the
Yeah.
budget for the future?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've,
just making sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
And I've seen the, I don't think we need one of those, but the trailers, the nice,
Yes.
trailers, porta potty trailers. Those are
Yeah.
nice places.
Yeah, we can plan on that, Danny.
What are you talking about?
Oh, it's a whole
I gotta get out in the
trailer.
world.
it looks- Yeah.
That's what they had at, yeah, we went to like a convention thing and it was at an old mall that had no bathroom, so they had the trailers there.
Mhm.
They're nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Alrighty.
Well, it sounds like a good consensus there, and so we will move on to the next part of this, which is the big part, which is playground design.
Did we put forth a motion and a vote for that to go to the alderman during the last meeting?
No.
Okay, because I just didn't know if we needed to like amend anything or take care of anything
be
for
fine,
that
yeah, it
purpose.
would be
We're
fine,
good. Okay,
yeah.
Thanks for providing the budget numbers
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as a reminder.
All right, so I have the two updated designs after your guys' feedback and the community's feedback from the public comments and then our review of that. Tonight, I asked both companies to attend, so both Compan and Athco, the playground designs we've been working with, are here. So I will start with Athco Design since they were first on the page here. Your guys' feedback to them was to add more 2.5 to 5-year-old equipment, add more interactive boards and equipment, add swings, look at alternative till we go around, get rid of some of the play features on the main structures and add more sensory elements. Colin with Athco, was trying to get creative and take your guys' feedback and added what he had here. And did each of you get the chance to watch the video, the link there?
I did not watch the video.
If not, I will pull it up because I wanted just in case. If you guys look at the monitors here, I'll pull this. So the Volvo it would be the first one in the area that they would be putting out in 24. So would be a one of a kind in the area.
Turn down the lights.
This one is designed with no shade currently.
Just about to ask. Are those included as well? The hunt, yeah.
Wherever your business needs to show up, Vistaprint can print it, like on Windows.
All the rivets are, polished down to where if you do want to slide down, it's no snag hazard, anything like that, but really cool.
So this is, do you mind coming up to the mic?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'll have both. I was getting ready to let you guys know. I'll have both of you guys come up and you guys can explain more. So just make sure that button's green. So press it, the button.
This is that inside structure piece, that big triangle in the middle?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Cool.
So just to point out a few features, so obviously we have the new main structure that Colin put together. You'll see in the multiple views as well, he added a swing bay. So the 2 swings as well. We have one regular and then one of the
Yeah, molded bucket
Molded
swing with a
buckets, yeah.
harness, so that's gonna be just an inclusive element, but the swing's big enough to where, any able-bodied kid or kid that needs the extra stability with the core strength, and then the harness can flip down if they need that extra stability, so just a good variety, but still allows really 2 kids of any abilities to swing side by side and have fun on the playground.
and then we kept the mounds since that's been a huge hit in the community. And then Haley asked a question yesterday about the sensory. I can't even think of the word.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what are those?
So those are part of our Rhapsody line, which is all our musical equipment. Those are specifically the Vibra chimes. So it's just individual chimes with different Pantones as you move down from high pitch to low pitch. So
I
music
sent you an
is
email.
extremely
Okay.
popular. Yeah, there's another
Yeah.
video on that. It's just about
Yeah,
chimes.
can we watch
but-
that video too? I didn't watch any, I didn't even realize there were videos. I was just looking through the
Yeah.
whole thing.
So yeah,
I'll find that if you want to if you want to go over more of the playground, the servicing and everything like that too. I'll
yeah,
look
and
up.
I'll just reiterate that. I mean, our YouTube channel is really cool, and I think that's great because everybody wants to show a pretty picture and it's a beauty pageant. But if you get the chance to go see it in the field, or at least on YouTube where there's actual kids and parents and friends playing on it, you really get a sense of the actual play value that goes into it. So it just gives you that different perspective instead of, you know, a 3D rendering.
Mhm.
Serves its purpose at this point, but I think that next stage to really make a decision and decide what's best for the community is seeing it in the field or at least videos of real life footage. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
that's
send that
super
link out to
helpful.
Matt and I'd love it if you all, you know,
Well, and
check it
even,
out.
I noticed like even some of the underside structure of the big main structure, you just can't see in the 3D rendering, so that's really helpful.
Yeah, so the Smart Play line, which this Volo is part of, is really cool. So it's our fourth structure. Typically everything we do is modular, to where, you know, we can mix and match and, kind of cater the post and deck systems to what, a community is looking for. But the Smart Play line is pre-designed by our designers, so they're sitting down. So they're not just designing on the fly or for a project, they're sitting down and taking everything into consideration. Where can we add this to? What would make this more fun? Plus, it's a little bit more, I guess, cost effective because they're sitting there and they have the time. So, we have the treetops, the breeze, and then, the beachcomber, and then now the Volo. So it's a really cool line. I'm glad they're expanding on it, but, yeah, there's a ton of play value packed into it. And the goal is to pre-design it. You know, we don't ever want to say, here, you have 3 choices, but in a situation like this, you know, they're becoming a really good option because of the benefits and the play value that, you know, are included.
So you guys said the shade structure is not included. Of the other things in the video, is everything else included in that?
Yeah, so this is actually the first Smart Play structure that actually has options. Usually they, you know, they are what they are, other than colors. Colors are always changeable, but as far as like the climbers, the features, we try not to make many changes because it was a lot of thought went into it, and that's how we try and keep the cost down, the engineering time down. But everything but the shade. So there's 2 options with the Volo, and yeah, it's shade or no shade, and that would be the only difference.
Can the shade be added later if it's determined it needs it, or does it have to be ordered when you build it?
Kind of a longer answer to your question. It could be added later, but you'd want to have some forward thinking because the steel post. We'd want to use aluminum, or we use aluminum. We'd want to use steel for those specific posts for the support. I'd have to fact check myself here since this is brand new, but an educated guess would be that footing for that post specifically would have to be a thickened footing. So it'd probably be one of those where if you never added the shade, but you thought you might, you'd probably spend a little bit more money on the front end, but it would leave that open
Right.
for an option.
Cause I know we have trees there that that provide some shade, but
We're still, yeah, pretty
we're
small.
dependent, yeah.
Right now, the cost, we're fairly close to $450,000.
And I've
On-
got a new number,
Yeah.
so, but sorry to cut you
No,
off.
you're
Yeah,
good,
it's
yeah.
lower than that now, so.
Yeah.
So, and then on the materials, are you guys using UV resistant paint, and is the nylon on those UV resistant, so it's not breaking apart in 3-4 years?
Correct, yeah, so Landscape Structures is all domestically manufactured and shipped up in Delano, Minnesota, about a half hour outside of Minneapolis. So the same product that we ship for California, for New York, for Texas, for Smithville, all the same, meant to be commercial playground equipment to withstand the elements wherever they are. So it's all Pro Shield paint over the posts that goes through a full process, baked, all that. You know, they're gonna say vandal resistant if a kid wants to try hard enough, they're gonna.
Right.
But you know, it's
They
intended.
do too.
They do. And yeah, on the cables, so those are all, it's not just netting, it's galvanized
Yeah,
reinforced
so
cables
the
inside
inside
of
is
it.
cable, yeah.
So once again, I'll put in quotes, cut proof, but
Right.
once again, if somebody wants to really try it, but it's all intended to be out there to be as durable as possible, as fun as possible, safe as possible. The fabric, it's all, you know, UV treated. It's actually all flame retardant fabric now. So it's high grade, high quality, and mental.
Danny, I can play this video for you.
Yeah, do you mind?
Want to watch it all.
Yeah, I wanna watch
I got
like
a question.
10-minute video
Yes,
of that.
sir.
You said there's a different price, so is that what is it with the shade then? Are we still under, is the price you're bringing to the table with shade or without shade?
It's currently without shade, but so
Mhm.
one of the last changes that Matt and I talked about, we're going from the port in place with the design, since we're kind of away from the road theme.
Yeah.
Just go all turf, save money, because there's no true play value there. So all turf mounds, and that's saved, don't have my numbers, but about 30 grand, and that would allow, so I think we're at 421 and some change currently. With that design as is, all the basketball court shelter, everything all in, inside that walking trail, everything would be included for that.
So
With
shade
the
would
site prep.
be how much extra?
Once again, without having an install in the ground, that number,
Right.
I'm kind of shooting from the hip, but I'd be, pretty comfortable saying we'd still be under your 450 if you
Okay.
wanted to go back up, closer to that number. So why we were trying to save, shave costs off or just with the bathroom and some of the things Matt mentioned might be a part of it, so. Shade we left off, but yeah, I can definitely give you that add-on price, once.
And, yeah,
spend
and
some time crunching
for
numbers.
both designs, the large cost is the concrete. I mean, where
I
the
see
con,
that.
so if we wanted, we could somehow reduce the footprint of the concrete, we'd always save some funds there as well. So that's where majority of the cost is at. So for both design, just keep that in mind when you see both.
The benefit of the turf, probably why we had such a cost savings with, as Matt was saying, the cost of concrete right now. So with port in place, we want to use a 4-inch slab under it. With turf, you do all compacted aggregate, then the foam, then the turf. So the material, the foam, the turf's a little bit more than the rubber, but the cost savings from the compacted aggregate to the concrete slab are pretty substantial, so. Currently, right now, and it has fluctuated over the years since I've been doing this, but right now turf is quite a few, I'd say probably $5 cheaper than port in place per square foot when you consider subgrade all the way up to finished elevation.
I'd like to open it up to the committee to provide feedback on any changes. If not, we'll move to the next one for right now.
Does anyone have any questions while
Yeah.
we're here specifically? I had a question about the road, but that all makes perfect sense. Everything else outside of the playground area is the same, correct?
Correct.
How loud are the chimes? Cause I'm very aware that it's like this playground is boxed between two houses. And
is.
so,
Yeah, I mean, probably hard to tell in the video, but they're not anything crazy.
Okay.
Everything's kind of deafened.
don't want to
but-
keep people's babies awake or people
Sure.
who work nights.
Yeah, so
Um,
it's a rubber mallet, so I
okay.
mean. once
We
again,
have
it
one,
gets
we have like
creative.
a small little, oh gosh, what are they called?
Xylophone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The word left me. We have a small xylophone up at the one at Heritage, which you probably haven't been to, but like it's not super loud, but like you can hear it from the other side of the playground, but it's not like
Yeah.
loud.
Anything that's usually commercially produced, like, landscape structures, playground equipment, it's all gonna have to fall under ASTM F 1487, which regulates
Cool.
speed of spinners, sound, high pitch, all that, so.
Okay.
It's all gonna meet all the requirements, and some people might consider that it's not as fun, but it makes a lot of sense for
Right.
exactly why you're
I love the
describing.
sensory idea of it. It's just, I'm for sure it's boxed between two
Right.
houses and they're gonna either love that or hate it.
We hope
So,
we won't get you any angry calls.
is it? Yeah, we don't want to get angry calls about things, but just a thought to think about before we move on with that one.
Guys running their Jake break through there is a little louder.
Let's move on. We'll come back. I'll have more questions later.
That
Is
video
that okay?
is,
Absolutely.
The videos are
video's really
super helpful.
cool and
Yeah.
yes, very
So
helpful.
Matt, if you wanted to send the whole YouTube channel out, and let people
Okay.
explore it,
Yeah, that'd be
that'd be great.
Did you guys did Athco do the playground at Diamond Crest?
We did not.
You did
No,
not.
No.
So the issue that we're having up at Diamond Crest is those mounds are not permanently in the ground. Are yours permanently in the ground? Like they don't
So
move?
I guess,
These
Okay.
move.
so when you say move, so
Uh,
ours wouldn't be.
You can take the whole thing and move it.
Oh,
the
no,
whole
so
mound.
ours would have a footing,
Cool.
so I just wanted to
There.
clarify, so I wasn't explaining it wrong.
Right,
So
right.
ours would be prefab mounds to where the turf wouldn't be cohesively up and
Right?
nailed down, it would be two separate, a prefab mound set on site, but that mound gets a direct bury footing in the ground,
Cool.
in concrete. So,
We've had issue with ours
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
migrating
Okay.
around.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
leading you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, no, no,
separate,
that makes perfect
separate
sense.
but
Yeah,
attached.
I would think if it was all one big piece, like you'd have like drag and pull and that kind of thing, so
Yeah,
that's fine.
those are a lot harder to fabricate on site. It can be done with gravel and then like a slurry concrete mix, but if you can get a prefab, which we got a 10 foot and a 5 foot, and especially with the tunnel, it just makes a lot more sense to. do
What's
it
on the inside of that tunnel?
Just like a hard poly,
Okay,
just like what a slide would be made of.
cool. Okay.
Any other questions, comments, changes to the design itself? Want to look at shade?
Shade. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Shade for sure. I also, so love the chimes, but I would like to know if there would be an option if we decided that maybe that was a bad idea because it's a neighborhood park, not necessarily that it is, but if we decided that it was, could we trade it out for more swings? Like cost wise, is it pretty similar or do we have
Cost-wise,
space for it? Cause I know you have to have space.
Cost wise, pretty comparable. Swings are actually probably cheaper than that, but, those require 0 safety zone.
Gotcha.
So compared to a swing, it's a huge difference. And then
Okay.
when your turf's, 20 something dollars a square foot, that
Right.
adds up quickly. Cause
Okay.
a swing, so with an 8 foot beam, you need 8 foot to the sides and 16 foot front to back. So, that's why there's no equipment. Might look like they're out there on an island, but that's just what's required for commercial playground equipment in the ASTM
Cool.
standards. So swings are hard to fit in. but
Right.
We could do it. It would just change the cost and it would add up a lot quicker than just a couple $1,000
Right.
swings with the surfacing taken into consideration.
Okay. And then is there a video? We don't have to watch it right now, but is there a video for the glider?
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, I would love to see one if possible.
Yeah.
If possible. I can
Yeah.
look one up on my own, but
And
if we could see it, that'd be
the
great.
specific product is called the WeGo Swing if you're on the channel, or you can probably find it with other words, but that's the swing name. So now that we've kind of changed the design, my suggestion, it's a little bit further away, but Meadowbrook Park and I think it's in Overland Park, not Lenexa. I think it's still in the OP boundaries, but anyway, Meadowbrook Park, the inclusive playground on the backside, has both a WeGo Swing, turf mounds, a lot of sensory panels, so it's got the WeGo round, which I know we removed, but cool to see, in person and all that. So that'd be right now with this current design, the park that I would recommend if anybody has the time to venture to Overland Park and the south side location, and be a great kind of in the field.
Is that the very beginning of the video, Matt? I wanted to see how the wheelchair like went into it. I had a mom have a couple of concerns about just like sometimes the kid wheelchair chairs are very top heavy and she was concerned about one tipping in it.
Okay.
Did you see the?
Sorry, no, I'm watching.
0 entry.
Yeah, 0
Pretty
entry.
great, low grade. And it's got a brace behind it.
I think it was more maybe it was the sideways tip. Maybe it was the frontward. I'm not sure.
It's got rails around.
Right.
So
I see the rails
we
on the
actually
front.
use belting too, to where you'll see them kind of lock in. Or if they
Wheels.
want to roll the wheels in the back, it's got flex to it.
Okay,
So, provides a little bit of support, but still an easy, entry and exit just because of the material. And that's Jill in the wheelchair in the middle. She works with LSI, and done some keynote speaking at Missouri Park and she's very involved in both the design and the R&D and all that. But she's available to talk if anybody wants some, things with a wheelchair user and somebody, how they navigated and what she likes and dislikes about it.
yeah. And it looks like it's pretty easy to move as well.
It is, yeah. Once again, it's governed because of safety regulations, but it's much proven as we can get with it. They definitely did a good job.
Awesome, thank you.
Back to the big Volvo structure, there's enough in there for the ages 2.5 to 5-year-olds. I'm thinking back to the video and there was a bajillion kids playing on it.
Right.
And I'm thinking about a 2-year-old playing with all those other big kids, but I don't anticipate there being 20 children constantly on the play structure. So then when Danny just mentioned cost comparison to the wind chime things as opposed to just different sensory boards, a separate area for the little kids. What do you guys think? Is that not needed? Would we put a little kid on this and
Do you mean like the flat boards that have the things? on them?
maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do you think in this big one, would you be concerned about a 2-year-old somewhere with a 7-year-old falling on them, or it's big enough play structure?
So it's intended for ages 5 to 12.
Okay.
But, I mean, that, ages are always so tough because it's a little bit subjective because some
Right.
kids grow and are much more active at a younger age and vice
Mhm.
versa. Some older kids just would rather the more calm play or
And they have a
sensory play.
swing and a tunnel.
Yeah,
And-
my
Yeah.
2-year-old
I-
would have climbed.
I like to
Like
reference,
he would have loved
yeah,
that.
I like to reference Smith's Fork Park Playground, the one that's down at the bottom. That one's technically for 5 to 12-year-olds, but the ease of access to get to the steps to the slides is for every age.
Okay.
I feel that way.
When your parents
Yeah.
do and yeah.
I'm gonna say
you're
some
watching
parents don't
out
want to
for-
hear it, but also that kind of, that growth or that overcoming fears
Yeah.
and just that,
Mhm.
that development.
Yeah.
That's kind of why
Yeah.
we put so much emphasis into our playgrounds and why we're proud of them. So it'll be safe, but it is intended for 5 to 12. But
Same at
Like-
Diamond Crest, the larger structure is for 5 to 12, but I've seen
Yeah.
kids younger on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've
I'd want it half,
Yeah.
Well, and the,
Even Heritage, like I see little ones climb up the rope to the slide.
Okay,
So,
cool.
that's what he's
Thanks.
talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I would say could we get a cost comparison between like sensory boards in place of the
Absolutely.
chimes? I like the chimes.
Yeah.
I don't want angry phone calls for anybody is all.
And I may have a sample at the office that I can give to Matt, just so you can
Bang on it.
See, yeah. I'm trying to
Lord, yeah,
think.
it's better than the highway traffic or
I'd say,
dog-
I mean,
dog barking
a na-
dogs.
yeah, I'd say a neighbor might get a wind chime that's louder too, you
Uh,
never know.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's true.
The mowers behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our
but,
mowers are definitely louder.
Let me do some thinking on, chimes don't stick out where I have them in the ground, but I'm sure I have someone.
I really like them
Somewhere
because
close.
definitely like having that sensory bit, I think that's fantastic. I feel like it might be better placed at like Heritage Park as
Well,
opposed
and if
to.
JB takes a ball peen hammer to him in the middle of the night, it might wake some people up.
I was gonna say, they use something other than the mallet, your
Yeah.
neighbors might be upset, but,
Right.
I'm trying to think, it might be, we call them the Grandioso chimes, they're more of a rounded unit, but I think we have them at Liberty City Park, which is close. Let me double check that before I send anybody there, but I think we got some musical equipment in that location.
We've been there.
Yeah, I work for
You work
Parks and,
there.
yeah, Liberty Parks and Rec, but not the park side.
Yeah.
I'll check her out.
I know we've been
Yeah.
to it's the new one that has the splash pad next to it.
Yes,
We've been there. I can't think, there might have been.
yeah, music doesn't really stick out in my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Helped us probably 3-4 years ago we did it, so. Remember the towers and the hillside slide and the crab trap, but
And then my last question,
yes,
and then we can absolutely move on. The additional swing,
yes.
is there a possibility, do you guys have like the mommy and me swing
Mhm.
option? What's the cost difference between those two?
Not much. So the only, I guess, the biggest difference I should say would be how you see that swing frame has 2 swings in it.
Mhm.
So we call ours the friendship swing. It takes up 1 bay itself. So you do lose the ability to
Gotcha.
put 2, but multiple kids can use it. So it's sort of a wash.
Okay.
And why we call ours the friendship swing and not like a specific parent child,
Right.
there's no dictating who has to sit where. So it's actually made out of the same size belting on both sides to where 2 kids can use it, 4 kids can use it, a parent can use it with a kid. So it just provides a lot more flexibility because I've seen some on the market where it has 1 big plastic seat and 1 small plastic seat. So the kid always has to face one direction and can sit on it solo and the parent always has to sit. So it just kind of takes the fun or the imagination out of it. So
Is it the one that you have, is it the back piece like slides up and down? Do you remember?
nothing slides, so it's a frame and then the belting, the same belting that's actually used on the WeGo swing for the base. It actually makes up the seat and it's kind of curved on both sides.
I think
You
we,
still got YouTube pulled up. you can
we
go-
have, they have it at, Heritage Park. It's one of those.
I know that one of the ones he's talking about, that's the belting?
The one that comes down over across.
Yeah, we have
So this-
that one.
There's no
Not that
harness
one.
in front.
Oh,
of it.
no
So if you just
harness.
wanna go to YouTube and hit
Yeah.
chip swing, we might as well, we got the video. so. Really should have brought popcorn, sorry.
Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
they've got the one that dictates. mhm.
We have it, I think, in both Heritage and at Diamond Crest. And I feel like it gets used more than the one that we have that has the harness.
It's right there.
This one, Colin?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
When you're launching a new product
But
with
you
a
said
tight
it takes its
deadline,
own bay.
2 weeks,
It does.
Grammarly's tone
So it would be that and no other swings.
Correct.
for
Plus
the
we added a
things that we
bay,
have.
and we might be, which we got the ramp, and the bays can attach and share a beam, so just be that separate bay, but they can be one system. That makes sense. Yes.
So we don't need, if we were to trade the two that are there out for
So
that one,
there's
we
some,
would
like-
need additional space.
Whoa.
Yes. we would.
So kind of how, if you like.
That's
hit,
really-
10
I like
seconds
that swing,
back,
that's
Matt. Oh, never mind. It just shows a few, a little bit more. Well, you can see the swings next to it to where they
Right.
can share posts. So it doesn't take a full two separate, completely separate safety zones. They can share because they're considered attached units. So we wouldn't need a ton of room, but yes, we would need a decent amount more, to fit a friendship swing and then the current swings that we have, the molded bucket and the traditional belt swing.
Okay.
Is that something you want me to put an option together for?
I'd like to see it as an option.
'Kay.
Cause I feel like even if we replace the two that are in it with that one, with a little additional space, I would think that one's a little more, I don't know, a better option. At
So
least
that-
in my experience with my kiddo at the playground, I like that one.
So that one over the current option, but ideally we can do both. Okay.
The one with the harness in the front, the problem that I see a lot is like, it doesn't fit all bigger kids or even adults.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of size specific. Kids are either like way too small for it or they're way too big for it. And there's like a
Absolutely,
real
yeah.
specific
The
age
window,
group.
Yeah.
And the one that we have at Diamond Crest and Heritage that has the slide up and down, it's great. But, this one, I like that one. That one's really cool too. But yeah. Any comments on that? No,
I have to
made it on
go.
an island?
It's been fun, guys.
You gotta go. Bye. Have a good one.
Yeah, Jeremiah, just send me any comments you have if you look over the packet again.
Cena,
Alright.
swing like that, that's cool.
Yeah, that's okay.
I know what YouTube channels you guys are gonna be on later.
Oh, yeah. Your viewership's gonna go up. All right, any other questions before we move on? No? Cool.
Thanks, Colin.
Awesome.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
All right, we will move on to comp plans design. So I'll go over the feedback, and Brent, if you want to come on, stand up, and I'll go over the feedback from the committee. So this committee wanted to look at the last design to do a new style of shade structure, which you see on the last picture. Last page shows the new style. The addition of swings, which has been added. Get rid of some of the play features on the main structure and add different play elements to it. So, Brent, I'll pass it over to you. But I just wanted to, you'll see, I also wanted to do this for Brent as well too, as he mentioned. In the initial design, you don't see the new shelter, which is just for picture purposes. It will be there. That's why we wanted to provide it on the last page. And then also obviously the basketball court is there as well. So, Brent.
So, kind of kept a very.
Make sure
similar-
you talk to the mic.
Sorry.
Where you're at.
Kept a very similar design to what we had in the last one.
Mhm.
Really what we changed on the main structures, we got rid of the Jacob Flatter, the poles,
Mhm.
and got them off the play structure. We still really focused on the inclusive play. We kept the inclusive, merry-go-round. We had the ramp structure for the 2 to 5. And then we added the swing set. One of the things we added with the swing set is the nest swing. And why this is a huge feature is it is hard plastic. So if you have a child that's able to transfer over, that's why I choose the hard plastic. The great thing about this versus the harness swing is when you don't have a child with disabilities, this can have actually 3 to 4 kids on it at a time. So it's a great play interaction. This is one of the most popular swing models. And then we have the standard swings on the other side, in the other bay. Talking about square footage is really the big difference with this project was adding, we added about 1,100 square foot of surfacing was the huge in cost, influx on the addition of that. We also changed the kind of the structure and the layout. Matt and I did talk a little bit the other day about the length of the trail. Would be huge savings to be able to cut that down on this project right now, where the original design I think was 7,200 square foot of concrete for the original trail from landscape structures. We did cut it down to 44, and then if we actually went down to closer to 27, we still have a good trail, but it's not as big. would make a huge difference, about a $30,000 difference.
And I forgot to mention that the outside trail here is not supposed to be there. It's just this inside one. This is 5 foot trail that'd be going around the park itself, so. just-
Those truck approved.
So cutting it down,
Mhm.
how much of it are we talking about cutting down?
So there's a couple different ways. It would actually be, one of the designs we talked about, was going down as far as 2,700 square foot of concrete, which takes it to about 470 linear feet of concrete trail. And so essentially what we would do is no longer go behind the basketball court,
Mhm.
we would come in front. So we wouldn't have the extra concrete around the sidewalk and the trail around the basketball court, which would cut all out of it.
That's what I was gonna say anyways. Why, I mean, I get it for walking purposes, but why do you really need that up there anyways, when you
We-
can
we-
access it in the front, right? I mean, cause that's,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what I
Right.
was gonna say anyway.
So, but that was how it was originally designed for
Mhm.
land.
Landworks, yeah, that
Yeah,
put that design
Landworks.
together for us.
So
Okay,
we tried to.
But
keep
this
as
puts
much
us
as-
a whole walking track around the whole park, which is what
Right.
you guys had recommended, so.
And so.
We had asked for that early on, a walking track around the whole thing.
okay.
And you probably do need to remember that there will be a shelter house
Right.
here, so if someone is doing something, you could avoid the shelter house and go around
Okay.
or walk through the grass.
But that would
Yeah.
be one of the biggest cost savings right off the bat. It's $25,000 roughly.
Yeah,
That's what
right
we're
now,
looking at.
this design's sitting,
It's right at 500,000 with the design, so that's 30,000.
So it's 500,000 as is.
As is.
Okay.
So the two things that we talked about being able to take off was the soccer goal and reduce the concrete, which would take us down by $35,000 pretty quickly. It also changes the way we have to do dirt work because there is a 3.5% grade across this field. It's about a $25,000 in dirt work on this project. And so by bringing the basketball court a little closer to the playground, we actually reduce a lot of dirt work. So that's gonna make a big difference as well too. The way we
Why do we move the basketball court? I don't understand.
Huh?
I understand not having the concrete up and back around, but where is the basketball court moving to?
Well, if we can move it just a little bit closer, we'd actually move the shelter house over a little bit to right where Matt's.
Oh, over that way. Okay.
And then move the
That makes
basketball
sense.
court. It actually reduces a lot of our dirt work.
Okay.
So it makes a big significant
Gotcha.
difference on that project. But it's still very much focused on the inclusive play element and I went today through all the parks today, and one thing that we don't have a lot of is 2 to 5 in the city, in our parks. I coach kids and practice and teams and talking to other parents. There's several parents that are kind of the same as we are that have that 10 or 12-year-old and then a 2 to 3-year-old. And so that's when I'm talking to the parents, that was really a big focus. I wanted to keep that in the design as much as we could. My daughter's softball team, out of 10 families, there's 6 of us that are in that situation, have a 10 to 12-year-old and a 2 to 4-year-old. So that was really something that I got a lot of feedback from when I talked about this park and the design from the parents that I spoke to directly. And so that's definitely something I wanted to keep on this. We don't have currently at any other park, is that 2 to 5 structure. We also don't have anything right now in the city that's got the ramp structures, which was, I know, a big emphasis for you guys, the inclusive play and the ADA compliance. So that was really kind of what we kept as far as the focus on the design. Also, our structures have the transfer platform. Every step, every stair has a molded plastic deck with handrails. So if you do have a child that can actually transfer out, they can still use that equipment as well. Makes it very easy for them to move up, move through the structure. And our basketball goal and our shelter house.
You guys have any questions for Brent? As far as design for this?
Is there a bench on a merry-go-round?
Yes.
That's not. What all is included in the 2 to 5-year-old section?
The ramp structure is a 2 to 5. The merry-go-round is actually a 2 to 12 structure.
Mhm.
The nest swing is also the swing set's a 2 to 12 structure as well. So that's the main one. The only structure on there that is a 5 to 12 only is the large main structure for the bigger kids. Everything else would be either 2 to 12 or 2 to 5 or 2 to 12.
I mean, on the 2 to 12 structure specifically, like what all is,
Five.
the 2 to 5, I'm sorry.
No,
Yes,
you're
the 2
good.
to 5. Thank you. You knew what I was asking.
Basketball
Just
courts.
that one right there, like what all is included in that? So I see
Okay.
like there's a small swing, there's like a little rock climbing area. What's on the other side?
Slide
Is there like a little hammock swing?
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a hammock there. There's also the interactive play panel on the left-hand side. We can actually change that to several different features depending on what you would like.
Mhm.
We have the tic-tac-toe option. And then on the backside, there's actually another set of play panels. I believe the one I have is the music panel
Oh, I
over
see.
there as well. And then you have that feature right there is a spinning and has a bunch of textile and a peekaboo in it. So
Cool.
I mean, I love this one. I do. I just, the price is, well, so if you move the basketball court closer,
move the
put the
basketball
shelter
court-
over, where, is that $60,000 of savings? Is that what I'm hearing or no?
I
It's
think it's 30.
30 all
35.
in.
It's gonna be
So
probably
then
around
we're-
35. That trail is, we're significantly different, or significantly,
So we're still 20 over.
Mm.
It's 450, right? That's about 450, right?
The round swing, is it always black?
the
The disc swing?
Yeah.
Is it metal? Is it plastic? Is it?
Plastic,
It's plastic. Is it always black or is there a color choice?
there's color choice.
Okay, black is hot.
Yeah.
They're gonna get hot regardless, but black is super
It's
hot.
actually not black, it's gray.
It's gray.
The rim around it is the black. Everything
Gotcha.
else is actually gray.
Okay.
But yeah, we have a full.
Are
range
the other
of-
swings, are they hard swings or are they like the
hard swings.
belt? Oh, interesting.
So
haven't seen
how
hard
can we
swings
get
in
to
forever.
450,000?
If I can reduce the concrete, let me rework it.
Okay,
Within a couple days, I can get you back a price, but I know that was one of the things that we talked about was, I think, a little bit different on the linear or square footage of the concrete.
Yeah, I
So-
don't think size of the circle is as big of a deal as like continuity of a circle for moms to just like walk a stroller around. And so if you could rework the concrete around that structure so that it's not like we go around in a circle and then we do a little zigzaggy. If we could just do a circle, that'd be great, just because it's
Okay.
easier with the strollers to kind of move around. But I'm fine with reducing.
So it'd
Like
almost
concrete
be
for that
like
if
a
possible.
squircle if you,
Yeah.
if you're
A
putting the
squircle.
shelter over where those little kids are in the
Right.
top left, right?
Action takes a step up.
okay, hold on. I need more time to process. So, wait, so show me where the circle would be,
So.
or the trail.
The trail is the,
Oh,
so it would actually outline the playground.
Just outline the playground.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what we have up at Diamond
Okay.
Crest and it works really well.
mm-hmm.
So that would take us down to 21. Cut out about 20, right at 23.
Well, and even if you have smaller kiddos on the playground, you may not want to be on the other side of a basketball.
Well, that's my
court.
question. Are we,
So,
is it going around the basketball court on the outside or between basketball court and playground? Perfect.
Playground.
Cool.
Again, the only reason we count that original design was. because
that was original
Right.
feedback, yeah.
Yeah.
So going more with this setup, the actually playground would be at the same, not gonna add curves and corners like this one is. This is my rolling on my system, this is our LA's. They're better at this than I am, but to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at, so it's actually show how. That's, bring basketball court in, have the sidewalk. That would have been right at 22 square foot. So that would be my suggestion. We actually wouldn't touch anything at the playground itself, but cutting that trail down is a huge part of that cost. And actually a lot of the dirt work as well too, so.
And that's bringing the basketball court up too, right? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would bring it up, by about 16 foot, because it's 16 foot by 16 foot shelter house. So we would essentially just move it up to that sidewalk.
Okay.
So that makes a big difference than not going around. Matt and I did talk about that as well. It was kind of awkward the way it was drawn, but again, we based that off of what was originally done by.
Right.
But yeah, I can resubmit and get this done in just a couple days and reduce the price and get an exact number on it. But rough estimates, that's at least below it.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
No, that's what I was wondering right there.
Thanks, Brent.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks to your assistant.
She helped me design the playground, so she's the one that got to pick all the
Dad had
designs.
Before you go, that pulling out the concrete and moving the walking track, does that include also getting rid of the soccer goal or are we keeping that?
That still has the soccer goal. in it.
That's still a soccer goal, okay.
So we can take the soccer goal off. I know that's something Matt expressed to possibly do something different as far as the soccer goal.
Okay.
So that's the ability to come off of it too, so I can take that off there.
I like the soccer goal. I wasn't sure if that included taking it off or not, but
No, no,
Yeah,
that would be an additional savings if we chose to do that. But the soccer goal right now, I do like it for the fact that soccer's growing like crazy up here.
Right.
As we tried to sign up for Little Kickers and I think it was full.
yeah.
Um,
Come on, Matt, can you fix that?
you think I have a little pool with that, right?
No,
But,
stuck at 40.
so yeah, that, we keep it on there. They give them a great place to be able to practice soccer and do different things. But yeah, just moving that forward will make a big difference as far. And we're actually able to reutilize the walkway as the trail, as the border. So we actually eliminate some curvature costs too.
Cool.
So there's a lot of benefits to moving that. forward.
Is this one also, is this pour in place or is this turf?
This is turf.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I like the turf from the sensory side. So I use it a lot of my projects. My 12-year-old son is autistic and so he likes the texture and the feel. So I try to do that as much as I can, especially when we're having a focus on sensory. So,
Thank you.
thank
Yeah,
you guys.
Thank you so much.
For next steps, Danny, I'd like to get yours and the board's feedback as far as schedule.
I was gonna bring that back, bring it up during new business, but if you want feedback now, my suggestion was if we really don't have anything for March, skip March and give us time to get the numbers back and then look at April meeting for decision. Yeah, get some more, give the board time to study this stuff up and
I think
see
we're
what the
definitely
dollar
narrowing
amount looks
these
like.
down.
I'm excited. I want
Yeah.
to decide in March. Do you guys need time to April?
I
Staff?
can go
I think if we get back our numbers
grab the
for
numbers,
the
right?
things that we asked for, I think we should be,
He
'Cause
said
there
to
won't
get
be
it
any-
In a few days.
right. I think we should be fine. Can we
Yeah.
get that in an email and then make a decision in March? Or do we have to, for sunshine purposes, do that all in March?
If he can provide us numbers,
Totally,
but
it's
we
not
still have to get the packet published out there and
Right.
memos and things like that put together. I just know they've got a lot on their plate with activities and campground and everything else getting
Well,
ready.
yeah, we could, if this is mainly our main topic going right now in the next month, I would like to probably meet in March. As far as construction schedules for both companies, they both have educated me on like, if we want to get this done, before the end of the year, we need to get on the schedule because their schedule is filling up on their maintenance side. So
So what are you asking for from us?
if you, basically, if you guys wanted to make the final recommendation in March would be our decision, because both companies probably need to know as well. So,
Does everybody feel comfortable with that?
I think
I
we're comfortable
second.
with that if you,
Yeah,
if staff
yeah.
has
Does that work
enough
for staff?
time.
yeah, we'll make it.
And-
Until the
companies.
reservation system goes down again. and you
No,
have
I
to
wouldn't.
scramble.
Don't put that out there. Yeah.
AT&T crashed today. They didn't reboot the
A
router.
meeting scheduled on March 28th if my calendar is right. So
Yep.
just before the campground would open.
Yep.
So that'd be a busy.
Just unplug the router for 10 minutes, plug it back in. That's what-
Should be fine.
That's what
I think
AT&T says to do.
this is an important thing we need to get on the schedule, so I'd like to meet on the 28th.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay.
Um,
So we'll meet on the 28th, and that's when, basically, we're at the final design of these both companies. Okay. All righty. we'll do
Gotta
that.
hit the budget number.
I do want to open this up, since we have that on the portion there, Danny, for public comment for this as well.
Yes,
If you can just ask if there's any
Any
public
public
comment.
comment?
is there any public comment?
I don't see anybody online.
Yeah, is there anybody online?
Nope.
Okay.
We had you even had multimedia today. Like, come on. I mean,
Hmm.
our viewership needs to jump up.
All right, do we have any new business?
Yeah, I think we need to add to the silent auction a golden pass for people that want to sign up late to Parks and Rec activities. So they can bid on that
Like
to,
it's a free pass. I waited too long.
yeah, start the bidding at $500, Matt. I mean, just lifetime, they could be late. And if Little Kickers is full, they can still get in.
This is the first time ever. I'm trying to convince my wife if we should do Little Kickers because he's just getting ready to turn 3, so.
It's a tough age.
Magnet ball.
Yeah.
They
We
just
moved our
follow the
little
ball
guy
around.
up at 4 and he was ready to move up, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the real reason we missed the deadline is because she was supposed to sign him up. and Decided she was really.
You had a golden pass
So.
coming soon to a silent auction near you.
Danny, you want to move to the actual just public comment in general for anything?
Yeah, for anything at all. Do we have any public comment for anything at all Parks and Rec related?
Okay. And then we'll move to doing business. I'll cut in real fast. So the
Sorry,
public.
I thought I did both of those at the same time.
Well, the first public comment was for just the playground itself. This was for any other public comment, but we were supposed to have someone online from Missouri Conservation Department. She wanted to discuss Tree City, USA. There's many cities around us that are Tree City, which basically that's funds and dedication to planting trees, and there's capital, investment into it as well. I think Liberty's been a Tree City for 25 years. I spoke with Tom
What is it?
about it more.
What is?
A buck a person? So like Mark,
It's $2 per capita.
$2. Okay.
So it'd be roughly about $22,000 that it would need to be dedicated.
Yeah, for household hazardous waste, I think we pay per capita too, so
Yeah.
it's not a big.
I've kind of brought it up, but I'd rather her do the presentation, but if you guys don't mind, we may put that on a future agenda as a future discussion topic rather than public comment now. So,
That works.
any other new business?
I have some new business too.
Yeah.
Let me get this. Okay, so,
I'm already excited that you're on our board now.
well, I've only lived in Smithville for a couple of years now and, but I grew up in the Kansas City area. As a kid, I was heavily into racing BMX and mountain biking and things of that nature. And, since moving to Smithville, I definitely enjoy a lot of the trails we have here already, some of the older mountain biking trails we have here. But every time I ride out just around Smith's Fork Park, around the Lake Remote area, I see a lot of potential there for, a different type of biking facility, like a bike park that a lot of cities are building. I know Bentonville's had a lot of success. A lot of cities in Arkansas randomly have had a lot of success with these. And there's 2 organizations that I thought that might be worth looking into to see if they'd be worth partnering with. One is called the International Mountain Biking Association, which they offer a trail accelerator grant, which they help professionally design trails and kind of help you take a project from idea to the finish line. And so that's something that opens up. I think I reached out to them and they said that opens up in around June usually. But my idea would be to take those trails that already exist and kind of improve them, perhaps make more of a bike skills area, which is something that would be really unique to the KC area. There's a few areas that have tried it, but I wouldn't say any of them have done it really well yet. So that's one project that I wanted to just kind of bring up. And then the other one is specifically around BMX, and there's an organization called USA BMX, which, they're involved with the Olympic team and all of that. And they have a program, they have an RFP out where they're looking to partner with 10 host cities to bring more BMX tracks to the area. Raytown and Blue Springs have had very successful tracks for decades. But this is a little different program where they actually try to incorporate some STEAM learning and things of that nature into their program, and you work directly with USA BMX. Whether or not it's feasible for a town like Smithville, I don't know, but I thought it was something worth looking into. If you look on the back, there's a couple pictures of just some examples of what a bike park might look like. You can see there's some areas for smaller kids and then some larger, more advanced features and things like that. But I think there's a lot of potential here for either one of these programs, with there's some partnership opportunities with the school district, I think at the middle school or high school level. There are middle school and high school mountain biking teams that they could possibly benefit from that as well. Yeah, long story short, there is a QR code on there too. So if you scan that, there's 2 videos that are associated with each one. So you know, if you want to look at those videos, we can, but there's like an overview of the Trail Accelerator Grant, and then there's an overview of USA BMX. So
So Danny, so as new business, you just make a recommendation to me and I can put that on a future agenda. We can discuss more, watch the videos, look at more detailed information.
Yeah,
So,
I have just a couple. Can I? Okay.
Mm,
We've never done new business. I just don't know
Yeah.
what a bike skills area is.
Yeah, since it's not on the agenda, we don't want to discuss
Okay,
it, so.
cool.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about that at a later date?
Definitely.
okay, I'll
Cool.
put that on a
Sound
future
good.
agenda. Maybe we'll look at after March.
Yeah, let's get
Okay.
the park stuff figured out first and then we can dive into that.
Thanks, Ben, for putting
Yeah,
that
thank you so
information
much.
together. So,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, and just for any of you, just for new business, education, if you guys have an idea that you guys want to bring up, this is the time to put that in new business. You can't discuss it in full detail, look at a bunch of different things. We'll put it on the agenda for discussion, then we'll use dedicated time to look at that. So,
Yeah, and if there's anything that's in the Parks Master Plan or anything like that that you guys want to add it to the agenda, message Matt, myself, Danny, and
Yeah.
we can also throw,
Yeah.
I mean, you
that's
don't
what
have
Ben,
to wait for new
yeah.
business. You can also email us and we can
Yeah,
update.
that's
the
what Ben
agenda.
did. He emailed me with the idea. I said this would be the perfect opportunity to add this in new business so we can get this on future agenda because you guys bring that information to me.
Yeah.
So,
Right. That's awesome. Anybody
Okay.
else have any new business?
Gold Pass, Platinum Pass, we call it Platinum, we'll get better,
Depends on the money.
yeah.
Does anyone have any other thoughts, concerns, or anything before we get going? Can I have a motion to adjourn
Motion
Motion.
to adjourn.
in a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good
No.
night, guys.
Oh.
You
Oh,
just have
no.
to. Just have to rock the boat.